So this is Gary and Jeremy, and I get a lot of questions as what is involved in preparing the jet before you take off. So we're gonna do that now. You wanna hang, and I'm gonna talk as if you know nothing about aviation. For those of you who know about aviation, you'll understand some of the terms. So Jeremy is gonna go into what we call the hellhole. I'll show you why it's called that. It's really tight and terrible to get into. And we've gotta connect the battery. If we're not gonna use the jet for about 8 to 24 hours, we disconnect the battery. We have not used the jet in that time frame. So he's gonna go connect the battery. Then we got the fuel truck here. So what we'll do then is we will check to see how much fuel is in the aircraft. Then we'll figure out how much fuel that we need. Then I will show you how Jeremy and I will compute the necessary speeds and numbers for taking off and all that fun stuff. All right, let's go. So Jeremy is going to now go inside the airplane. I've got the key left in there. So that's gonna be in there. And then he's gonna go in. Let me show you where the battery is kept. That's what they call the hell hole. And that's gonna be back underneath there, all right? And then he'll connect the battery. Once the battery's connected, we'll throw the lights and the battery on and all that good stuff. Give you an idea why they call it what they call it. It's really tight up in there. So he's gonna get that battery. He's gonna tighten it together here and there, all connected. Then he'll come back out, make sure the door is totally locked. Then we'll go in and throw the battery switch on. Let's go do that. Okay, we're in the cockpit now. So Jeremy is going to, this is the battery switch. He's gonna throw that battery switch on. He's gonna pull it out and up. We're gonna confirm that we have the right volts on the battery. We're looking for 24 volts. Then we're gonna come over here and check the fuel, how much fuel. We're gonna have, let's see, where's our fuel? I'm trying to figure out how much, I'm trying to guess how much we're gonna have. It's gonna be right at about, let's see, right under there, somewhere about 450, 400 pounds aside. So let's go ahead and do it. He's gonna throw it on.
So, battery, right
Pull
here.
out and up, yep. And she lights up. So now, here it comes and rises. That's the oil temperature, that's nothing there. There's the fuel I was telling you about there. No fuel flow, obviously. So I said, yeah, right about 400. So 400 pounds per side. That's how much we have in fuel. Now, a lot of people want to know what's that in gallons, right? So you, the easiest way to, well, it may not be easy if you've never done it. So 400 pounds, what's half of 400? 200. So 400 and 200 is 600. Take a zero or so off there, take a zero off, and you have 60 gallons. So basically we have 60 gallons per side, all right? So I'm gonna figure out and calculate how much fuel that we're going to need to get to where we're going today, and then we're gonna tell the fuel truck and we're gonna fill her up. All right, now we're putting the fuel in. It's called liquid gold, baby, liquid gold.
Liquid gold.
Liquid gold. And we got some more liquid gold going over here. More liquid gold. All right, we still have a complete pre-flight to do, but these guys are hooking up the juice for us. So this is called a GPU. So what a GPU is a ground power unit. And what that means is if we use the battery, we can just tear this battery up if we keep using the battery without a GPU. And what does that really mean? Well, you want to have the battery as strong as possible, but if you don't use the GPU, the problem is those batteries cost like $4,000 to $8,000. So that is now going to enable us to put the air conditioner on, the lights on, everything. And when my friends come, I'll have the air conditioner going on. It'll be nice and cool, and we're doing a couple things that we need to get done. All right, so GPU is on. All right. Okay. Right. Okay, air conditioner on.
Yeah.
Air conditioner there. Air conditioner there. you got some air coming. Heck yeah. All right, we got air blowing. I'm gonna go ahead and close this door. You guys want to come inside and hang? Okay. We got a couple of our friends coming in. Enter. We're gonna close the door and just keep it cool.
Thank you.
All right, here we go. Tires look good. Hop on in, Kevin. Pick a seat, any seat, my friend. Let's go. All right. We're not taking up. Okay, Mr. Jeremy is going to start the pre-flight. So basically what we're looking now, I'm not going to go through everything with you because it just takes too long. I don't want to eat up your time. Maybe we'll fast forward it or something. What we'll do now is we'll just go through things that we need to look for structurally, make sure everything is closed, tires are good, nothing is blocked, and we'll just continue and walk around the airplane and inspect everything. So we're just going through the side of the airplane, looking underneath. There's the landing gear, the tires, looking for leaks, anything unusual, maybe something from the last flight happened and we didn't notice anything. We're checking inside the engine, make sure everything is moving correctly, no nuts and bolts are falling off. Alrighty, we're checking all the lights, landing lights. We're gonna be flying at night tonight. That's good there. All right. We are set. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to have Jeremy get the cockpit organized and I'm going to organize my side. So that means, you know, do we have our Apple Pen? Do we have our iPads? We're going to get what's called a toll card. I'll show you that in a little bit. That's TOLD for takeoff and landing. The toll card is a paper. That's the only thing that I have paper that's in the aircraft. So the toll card is where we write down everything. We write down frequencies, how much fuel we have before we take off, how much fuel we're going to have when we land. Now we're not going too far, so it's going to move fast. We're going to be going at nearly 300 miles an hour. Things happen quickly. So we're going to go ahead and get all the information for the airport we're going to. We're going to get that and put that on the toll card. In most cases, you would do that in the air, but we want to reduce the stress, manage the stress. We're going to get everything done now so that when we take off, we're just good to go and we don't have to worry about anything additional. All right, that's how you manage stress in the cockpit. Okay, so what Jeremy's doing now, he's going through the checklist, and in the checklist, there's things that we have to do as pilots. So what we're doing is we're figuring out how much fuel we have, one of the weight of all my friends, and I'll tell you a trick so you don't embarrass the women if they're with a guy. You ask the couple, what do you guys weigh as a couple? Ah, a little trick there. Anyway, you're supposed to laugh at that. Okay, that's all, never mind. All right, so he's gonna go in the checklist, and the checklist now will let him know, all right, what's the total weight of the aircraft? So we know what that weight is. That's standard per serial number. And then we figure out what's the weight of the fuel, and then the weight of all the passengers. We total that up, then he'll go into the checklist. Notice the toll card he's got there. Where's that other toll card? The blank one. Blank one, yeah. So this is what the toll card looks like. So you put on there frequencies, different speeds. So he's working on now determining what speeds that we're going to use when we take off. There's specific speeds. We call it V1. V1 is a specific speed, that once we get to that speed, that is a speed that we make a decision. If there's an emergency, no matter pretty much what the emergency is, boom, we're going to continue in the air. And then there's other speeds that we're going to do and whatnot. So he's calculating all that information. Then I will confirm the information with him, and then we have to plug the speed. So this is called a bug. See that little bug right there moving? So we're going to put and calculate the speeds manually because this is an older aircraft. So if he says V1, he's going to put V1 on his side. I'm going to put V2 over here for me. And if he says it's 100 or 105, I'm going to turn it there, and then he's going to put it on his side. Okay? Then we're going to put, this is the altitude. So all these things are done in advance, and as much as we possibly can get done, I like to do it before the engine gets started. I mean, we can do a lot of this when the engine's started, but it's just a waste of time. You know, when you're flying a jet, it's totally different than, you know, a smaller airplane because it goes so much faster. The goal here is to really minimize the stress. Just do everything you possibly can on the ground. When I was in the jewelry business, I used to have a saying, as much as prep work you can do in designing your ring in advance, the less work you have to do when it's actually made in gold. So we make everything in a wax form first. And all the preparation, if you do all your preparation as much as you possibly can in the wax form, then when you get it into the gold, it's less work. We're doing the same thing here. We're reducing the stress by getting everything we possibly can get done in the cockpit before the engine is started, all the distractions. Then when the engines get started, boom, we get going. Now, to start this baby, we actually push this button right there. If I had to touch that button right now, this jet would start right up. These are the throttles, and there's a lot of other stuff in here, all right? These are our annunciator. We gotta push that in. I can see why that's out right now. I don't need to have it out burning. All right, okie dokie. So that's it in a nutshell. And then I will, in just a moment, I'll go over, sorry about the crazy camera here. I'll go over the speeds with him in a moment, and then we're ready for departure.